Hey guys, this is Pietro, I am a Linux specialist and welcome back to my channel. In this video we're gonna show you 5 productivity tips that are gonna greatly increase your efficiency while using the bash shell and thus your speed. Let's jump right into the video. My first tip here is gonna be about command line navigation. This is gonna greatly increase your speed if you are used to waiting for the cursor to move in the beginning or at the end of the line. You can use Alt or Command on, if you beat the apple, to move one word forward and backwards. You can use Alt or Option F and B to move one word forward and one word backwards. And if you have Home and End button on the keyboard, that's gonna put you in at the beginning or at the end of the line, but that's gonna also work with Control A and Control End and Control E, which is gonna put you in the end of the line. And while surfing on YouTube a few days ago, I actually discovered that on macOS you can actually keep Alt or Option pressed and use the mouse to move along the bash line. My second tip here is going to be about arguments and argument reusing. You don't have to rewrite that last absolute path every time you use a new command. You can actually refer to it with the combination Alt and dot. And if this option is not working, you can actually refer to it with exclamation mark and $sign. This is gonna prompt up the last argument that you used and it's gonna append it to the command you're using. Great for when you're using absolute path in the end of your command line argument and you don't have access to a mouse. One of the cool features, in my opinion, is that actually this works as a history. If you keep pressing dot, that's just gonna go back in your arguments history and it's gonna just supply whichever argument worked. Okay, we talked about argument repetition, let's talk about command repetition. This is gonna be my third tip and it's gonna be about double ampersand and double exclamation point. What's that gonna do? Double ampersand is gonna check whether your exit result of the last command was 0, which means that if the last command that you run actually exited successfully, and then it's gonna eventually run the other part of the command. And we can refer to the last command that we executed with double exclamation mark, which means that if we are gonna echo ABC, you can see that now the command becomes the sum of the two commands before being executed, and then that's gonna run independently into separate commands. This actually comes handy to me on a daily basis, like using Git to version control some of the repositories that describe the infrastructure. When you're committing, that's not gonna immediately sync with all these repos. So I usually run the command, realize there's no tag yet, and then I'm gonna git pull and re-execute the command, which is gonna look like this one, which is gonna do git pull and re-execute the last command that I tried to execute. My fourth tip here would be about watch. And no, I'm not talking about timekeeping, I'm talking about re-executing a command to evaluate the status and all the progress of an activity we are running somewhere else. We can, for example, copy a random string of bits into a file and then watch the file grow in itself. So it's gonna be dd input file dev random output file tmp temp file, and when I'm gonna run this command, dd is gonna copy bit by bit whatever it finds in the random device and just copy it straight to this temp file in the tmp directory. I'm gonna open another terminal here with Ctrl T and I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna watch with extended long attributes and human readable formats my temp file that's gonna create on the other side. Okay, here we go. Let's launch our commands. And you can see that the file size is actually growing and the command is being executed roughly every 2 seconds. Okay, I'm gonna stop here because it's 2 gigabytes already. Okay guys, this is the last tip. This is tip number 5 about opening the right manual pages. You'll be surprised how many times people don't actually know what they're running because they just search commands online and just paste it in their bash, hoping for something to work. The best approach here is to use the man command. If you don't know what a command is doing or what a switch is doing inside a command, just open the man for it. So we're gonna open the manual for the manual command with man. And you can see that man actually comes in different flavors, one of them being apropos, which is actually the king of this tip here. If I know the command that I'm gonna use to do something, I'm gonna open the manual for it. But if I don't know which command I'm supposed to do in the first place, how do I know? Well, you can launch man -k, which is going to show you all the man pages for the specific keyword that you supplied, or apropos and a keyword that's just gonna do the same exact thing, since apropos is an alias of man-k. Okay guys, this marks the end of the video. Make sure to hit that thumbs up button if you like the content, make sure to leave a comment if you want to know more, and until the next time, ciao!